Welcome to another Highland League Weekly preview show. I'm Ryan Cryle and here's Callum with everything you need to know about this weekend's big game.
The main game for us this weekend on Highland League Weekly is Rothes versus Lossiemouth at McKessick Park. The Spaysiders, they've had a lot of home games to start the season. 6 of their first 7 fixtures in all competitions have been at McKessick Park. However, they've only won 1 of them. They've also lost their last 2 games, so they haven't been in the best of form. Lossiemouth also haven't been in the best of form. They're still searching for their first win this season. They have picked up good points against Brora Rangers and Banks of Dee. However, they'll need to improve on their defending in last week's defeat to Nairn County. You'll be able to see if either side can get a welcome 3 points on Monday's Highland League Weekly.
Competition time then, first point of order. We asked you last week which Formartine United player had become the first North Lodge Parker to score 100 goals in the Highland League era for the club. The answer was, of course, Graham Roger. If you'd been paying attention to last Monday's programme, you would have known that. Chris Woodruff clearly was. He got that correct and he is going to receive a Highland League Weekly mug. Please send your details, Chris, to sport@pressandjournal.co.uk if you haven't already done so. Your latest chance to win one of these, or of course a Crystal Paul tea towel. I'm not even bothering to get in shot this week because everyone always picks the mug, and why not? It's a beautiful thing. This week we want you to tell us when the last time Lossiemouth won a trophy was. We want the year and we want you to tell us which piece of silverware it was. Send your answer in by email, sport@pressandjournal.co.uk, or comment below this video, wherever you're watching, whether that's Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Let us know and you could be in with the chance of winning one of these beautiful Highland League Weekly mugs.
The second game for us on Highland League Weekly is Banks of Dee versus Buckie Thistle at Spain Park, and here's 3 things you need to know. It's 2 of the unbeaten sides in the Highland League putting their records on the line. Banks of Dee, they've played 5 league fixtures, 3 wins, 2 draws, picked up 11 points. Buckie, they're top of the table. They've played 6 league fixtures, collecting 5 wins and 1 draw to give them 16 points. Both teams will be looking to get back to winning ways. Banks of Dee's last outing was a fortnight ago where they were held 1-1 by Lossiemouth in the Highland League, while Buckie were knocked out of the GPH Builders Merchants Highland League Cup last weekend on penalties by Keith. It's the first meeting of the sides this season, but they faced each other on 3 occasions last term. In the 2 Highland League fixtures, there was a 2-2 draw at Victoria Park and Buckie won 3-1 at Spain Park. They also met in the Highland League Cup, with Dee winning on penalties after a 1-1 draw.
Okay, Crystal Paul time now. I picked up another point last weekend.
Don't want to talk about
which took me up to 17-4, I believe, on the opposition side. It's looking very unlikely Paul's going to catch us this season. I'm not going to lie. So, you know, to try and narrow the gap, or allow the gap to be narrowed, I have decided to just kind of do these ones off the top of my head this week.
Like you've been thinking about them.
See if I still get more points. So first one's Rothes against Lossiemouth. How's that one going to go?
2 teams out of form, as Callum's touched on already. Rothes have got to pick up at home, so I fancy them to edge it, but I think it's going to be close. I'm going to go 2-1 to Ross Jack's side. I'm
going to go 3-1 to Rothes. Just got a feeling. Just got a feeling. Game 2, Banks of Dee against Buckie Thistle. Challenging place to go, Spain Park. Buckie will be raging after losing at the weekend in the cup. But Banks of Dee, you know, very formidable side with their own title aspirations, I'm sure. How's it going to go?
This is interesting because Banks of Dee have had a weekend off, so they'll be nice and fresh.
Or rusty.
Well, and the Jags will be looking to bounce back. But so are Banks of Dee, because they've been knocked out of the cup at home, then they've been held at home by Lossiemouth. So again, I think this is a tight one, but I do fancy Buckie, league leaders, and they're very strong. I'm going to go 3-1 to Graham Stewart's side.
I am going to say 3-2 to Banks of Dee.
Oof.
Take a risk this week. Let's see if it pays off. We'll find out this weekend.
Breedon looking to continue their unbeaten start in the Highland League against a Strathspey outfit who are still searching for their first points this season, but they'll take encouragement from their performance in defeat against Fraserburgh in the Highland League Cup last weekend.
Clach go in search of their first league win of the season against a Formartine United outfit who have suffered just one defeat in their opening 7 matches and are now level on points with league leaders Buckie Thistle.
Devon Vale took another sore defeat at the weekend, and their manager Craig Stewart says they need to stop giving up cheap goals to the opposition. Huntly, meanwhile, they're in the top 4 and were 3 goals up within 6 minutes at home to Turriff at the weekend, and they even showed the steel to resist a Turriff attempted fight back.
It's been Brora who've had the better of recent league meetings between the sides. In their last 4 clashes in the Highland League, the Catholics have scored 18 goals against the Maroons. However, Keith will be buoyed by reaching the semi-finals of the Highland League Cup and will be hoping to cause another upset.
Nairn County picked up their second win of the campaign last weekend, and they're looking for another 3 points as they entertain an Inverurie Loco side still searching for their first league victory.
It's 2 sides looking to get back to winning ways after defeats last weekend, and if the Cancans could get the better of Turra, they would leapfrog them in the league table.
Now, Brock striker Scott Barber goes into this one knowing he needs just 3 goals to become the Brock's all-time leading goal scorer outright. Mikey Stevens currently 2 ahead of him on the list. Wick, meanwhile, they've conceded 16 goals in their last 3 games in all competitions. They've also lost their last 4, so they'll need to be much improved in this one. That's it for another Highland League Weekly preview show. Just a reminder, this weekend our cameras will be at Rothes against Lossiemouth and Banks against Buckie Thistle, and you can catch highlights of those on Monday night on the Press and Journal website, as well as the usual analysis of the other results and a feature, hopefully. In the meantime, please follow us on social media if you don't already do so. We're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. You can also sign up to our Highland League newsletters for all of the latest news from the Press and Journal sports team concerning the Highland League. It's mainly Callum law, I'm not going to lie. There's a link to do that somewhere on this page below where I'm standing right now. In the meantime though, please enjoy the football, whichever games you're watching this weekend, and we'll see you next time.